What's your favorite album? 1, 2, 3. A meme that made you laugh and then a book to read. You better pick somebody who can keep you company, 'cause we're stranded out at CDs.
Hello and welcome to Out at CDs, a podcast where each band member chooses 3 albums, a book, a meme and a musician they would take if they were stranded at sea. This is in no way inspired by Desert Island Discs. I have zero idea why you'd think such thing. Hello, boys.
Hello, mate. That was sexy, mate.
That was good.
Thanks
That was
so
good.
much. My name's Nick.
I am Ben.
My name's Mark.
And I am Matt.
Oh, that was excellent work from everyone.
Woohoo!
Well
Well
done.
done.
First time we did it. First time, yeah, straight off the bat.
Promise.
no retakes on that.
No edits, no retakes.
yeah, that's it.
How are we all?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
good.
Yeah,
Getting by.
that's what
Right.
it is.
Just
Is what
that's what
it
it
is.
is. I just had a really good bagel,
Did you?
so I can't complain.
Peanut butter, wasn't it?
Well, you neither of you two are going to like this because it was a peanut butter bagel.
For the listeners at home, me and Mark both have severe peanut allergies, so that was slightly offensive to us. But yeah, go on.
Whilst me and Ben love them.
Love it. Got the opposite. Got the opposite.
Give me the peanuts.
Controversially as well, although I know Matt does this as well. I put butter on it before I put the peanut butter on.
Yeah.
Once again, lost on YouTube, but that's not normal.
It's
I
like a
don't think.
primer. It's like a little primer, isn't it? Just like a bit of...
Yeah.
I know peanut butter is obviously butter in nature, but I feel like I still need to butter my bread.
I would say that for most things on toast, though, that you kind of have to go butter first anyway.
Yeah,
regardless
jam on
of
toast,
pizza.
always butter first.
So yeah, listeners, this is now turned to Out at Foodies. Right.
There we go.
So-
Any listeners we did have, we've just lost in the first
Yeah.
2 minutes. That's good.
Let's be serious. No one's listened to this past the 10-second mark.
Yeah, sure.
So this week we're gonna start off with Matt.
Yes.
So Matt, kick us off. Actually, first of all, Ben and Mark, take a little guess. An album that you think Matt has chosen.
Can I go first?
Go for
Yeah.
I've gone for the 1984 big hit "Make It Big" by Wham.
Is that a fucking joke?
Is there any reasoning behind that, Ben?
Look at him. Look at him. He loves it. Nah, there's no reasoning. Just went for it. Just thought, you never know. Just shoot from the hip.
You know me
Shoot from the
too
hip.
well that I take that as you trying to take the piss out of me. So
Don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about.
My guess is gonna be Rumours, Fleetwood Mac.
Shall I
Giving
say?
nothing away.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny is when
That's
we
a
were
good guess, man.
when we were chatting about doing guesses though, Nick was like, "What if like we all guess each other straight off the bat?" I was like, "I don't know mine straight off the bat. I barely know mine now. I've got a notebook."
Yeah.
But shall I go with my first album?
Wait, is Nick not going to guess?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Nick.
I can if you want me to.
Yeah.
Well, it seems unfair
Okay.
that we
Oh,
get to and you
thanks.
don't.
That sounds a little bit
Thanks,
cocky.
boys.
I mean, I can if you want, but I'll probably get it right.
I went for Remain in Light by Talking Heads.
Who knows?
Oh, you've nailed him there. You have
I
nailed him.
I could tell.
Oh.
You're gonna
I
be
am gonna be-
well. There's an area of contention, but we'll get to that because I'm gonna leave that for a bit.
All right. Go on. So your first album, if you were stranded at sea.
Right. So if I was stranded out at sea, I think the album is gonna be what I think is probably my favorite album ever, which is Blue by Joni Mitchell.
How did none of us guess
Yeah.
that?
I mean, I think I literally quote it all the time, so I think you would.
I think if I'd have actually put in a serious guess, that would have been my serious guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the album that you said. If you had any lyrics that you'd ever tattooed, it would probably be from. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. I just me and Nick did that like listening in the dark thing in where was it?
Pitchback Playback.
Yeah,
Shout out.
yeah. Sponsor us. We need the dollar.
This is not a hashtag ad.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know. I literally remember listening to that album, and I can't remember. I think it might have been our mate Patrick who told me about Joni Mitchell. And I remember literally being on the way to the shops as they're in Feltham. Big up Feltham lads. And
Big up
I
the
literally, and I remember just listening to it, and it was one of the first ever albums I'd listened to in so long. When I was like, from like the get go, I was like, whoa, what is this? And I remember like taking about the full 30 minutes to go around Asda, because I was literally like, this is class. I'm like,
Around Asda. It doesn't strike you as classic Asda listening music, does it?
Yeah, just about to say that. So it's an intense record to listen to when you're getting your groceries, man.
I hit the frozen foods aisle by River.
Very apt.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I think it's the best. I think she's the best lyricist ever. I just think she's so fucking good.
Big claims.
One of the main things as well is like, it's 50 years ago it came out this year, and I think if I'm going to be on that desert island for the rest of my life, then I think if I'm still resonating with it 50 years from then like in another 50 years, I should probably still like it, I guess.
You're going to be sad on that desert island, man. That is going to be a depressing desert island.
This actually took the sad spot, of which there were notable exceptions. One of which is a band that I won't say, well, you know what album, but a band that is definitely going to feature later on. But I was just like, that is, if I have that and anything by Radiohead, then I'm just going to be so sad all the time.
Yeah.
Matt, I've got another massive question. And it's actually been bugging me ever since you originally said that the thing you said that Nick said before. What lyrics and where?
I think if I got anything, it would be on
Tattoo wise. Sorry
yeah,
to give
yeah. I think, I don't know, maybe like round my wrist, so it kind of looks like it's like a little bracelet. I think. I don't know. I think that's sort of like a little band.
Not at the small of your back.
No.
What, like a tramp stand?
Yeah.
Can I guess the song that it's from?
Yeah, you guessed the song, Mark.
Case of You.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Can I guess the lyric?
Yeah.
Oh, I've gone in so hot there and then just absolutely buzzed it. No, give me a sec. It's something about painting.
Yeah, that's it. I'm a lonely painter.
I'm a lonely painter. I live in a house of paint or whatever.
House of paint.
Something about painting.
Yeah. I think that is literally one of those times when I don't know. Well, I think we've all had this before, when I literally didn't know Joni Mitchell at all, and I remember Patrick telling me to listen to this, and then I had that lovely thing where I had no preconception. I didn't like look on Spotify at like top played songs. I just went straight onto the album. So then I remember like ringing up Patrick after and being like, "Mate, this might be a road choice, but that Case of You song," and he was like, "Yeah, it's a Case of You. It's one of the most famous songs ever." And I was like, "Oh yeah, really
that makes sense."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I thought that would be the one that everyone would get, that you should all guess.
Yeah, it's too obvious.
Well, it went wham, Joni Mitchell for me.
That's it.
So moving on to your book, Matt. So the book that you would take.
Oh, so this is pretty hard. Part of me, right, before I had about a day when I was like, I'll take something like, I don't know, like an encyclopedia and learn loads of stuff. But then I thought, I probably won't.
Knob.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like
Absolute knob.
And then I nearly was going to take Sapiens, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to read about the history of all of mankind when I'm on my own. I might be a bit like, and then they did this, and then they did this. I'll be like, well, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm on my own. So I actually decided my favourite novel ever, which is The Great Gatsby. I don't know if you know that, but that's my favourite book.
What, you don't know if we know the book, The Great Gatsby?
No, I fucking know you know the book. Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio's in a film, you must know it.
Yeah, that's true. I've actually got the book upstairs.
It's so, the book's like, I think I must have done it for my like English GCSE or something.
English lit. I did it for English lit.
And do you know like when you get those books and you're just literally like, oh, these just like, actually no, I say that in my head you're like, oh, the books you get at school are shit, but I read Of Mice with Men and The Great Gatsby, which are both
what
class.
a classic.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Oh, what a classic!
Mark sounded like a guy at like a fair on like one of those rides, and like,
Scream if you want to go louder.
Louder? Scream if you want to go louder. Not the quote. Not the quote. Scream if you want to go faster. Scream if you want to go louder. What fairs have you been to?
Mark is so in the producing biz now that he can only everything is. But yeah, no, I think it's like 100. It's something mad. Like this might be a bit like it's like 120 pages. It's tiny. The book's so tiny, and I just think like. I don't know. I've read it. It's probably one of the few books because it's 120 pages that I've read a couple of times, and I just think it's so good.
Just a consistent banger.
And it's also kind of a bit hopeful, but then really sad. I won't spoil the ending, which I guess is probably what I'd need. I want to go in that cycle on that island of being like, oh, I've got hope, and then it all goes to shit, and then just start again.
Why would you want it to end sad?
Before listening to Blue, or vice versa?
Oh no, I think you'd read the whole book and then you'd hit Blue just to like finish you off once you're like almost
sitting feelings.
Yeah.
Class. So your second album then?
So as I think we had this discussion, it's obviously we're not just doing like what we think are the 3 best albums ever. You want a bit of like variety, and because I definitely want to be like able to have a little bit of a dance. I think my even on my classic. By the way, guys, anyone listening, dancing around your bedroom with headphones on is one of the best things that I took up in 2020. It's fucking class.
I think it's actually a must, isn't it? Like, I feel it's one of those things that you haven't experienced a lot until you've done that.
Yeah.
I've actually only just started getting into dancing around on my own.
Really?
Yeah.
I've started doing it in the shower. I don't really do it. Well, also it should be said that at the moment I'm not really ever on my own, am I?
Yeah, that's true.
That sounds like I was going to say like because God's with me. It's just Holly and I are in the bedroom. So I just don't.
Do you know what though? It's because it's not for show. It's like you're just purely doing it for your own enjoyment, and there's no kind of exterior pressure. It's just like I'm having fun.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
So the album I've picked is A Brief Inquiry by the 1975.
Yes.
And also, in terms of variety, what's really nice is you get about like 5 genres in one, don't you? Which is fucking class.
That's
True. Very true.
It also is. I was saying this to maybe it was Mark the other day. I was saying that like I think it's weird that I went through a period for ages when I was like I loved like Joni Mitchell and I love Fleetwood Mac, but maybe not Remus Mark. You'll have to tune in later to find out about that. I'm basically I remember listening to. I think actually I really vividly remember Mark being in your car like must have been like 2019 and you playing me Love It If We Made It from your car speaker.
Yeah.
The old in between his car. Wow, what a car.
And I literally remember I'd said to my mum and dad, I was like, oh, I really like going to gigs. But everyone I listen to is either dead or they've broken up. And I was like, I'd quite like to get into some modern music. And I actually think it was probably since AM, or when he's like probably in the 3 years since that, I probably hadn't listened to that much like modern band music. And I listened to it and I was like, fuck, this is class. And
it's so nice. I always find it when you kind of, I find it with my taste, I'll get into a hole of just like listening to either the same band or the same kind of era of music, like you're saying, and then every now and then you'll get that like new album from an artist that you might either like really follow or don't know at all, and then it kind of just like switches everything up and you start listening to like 7 new albums all at once.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a, and I was definitely guilty of doing this, but it's a bit of a cliche to be like, all modern music is rubbish, you know, it's not like the old days. Actually, like there's such an oversaturation of amazing music now. Like I feel like I'm spoiled for choice.
Yeah, because the Liar Little EP is really, really good.
It's just historic.
I think no, and as well, I had that lovely thing that like I'd heard Chocolate and I'd probably heard Love Me, but I had that thing when I was like, oh, I really like this, and I had that like amazing thing that I've had with a few bands when you're like, oh, sick, there's another 2 whole albums that I can just binge right now and just let it. So
that's
yeah,
the best feeling. I feel like liking an album and then going backwards into their catalog, and it's like all these all the things that you didn't know, and then you're like, oh, this makes so much sense to the album that I actually like first fell in love with.
And then Matt, we had the best gig of our life. The best gig of our life, didn't we?
Not us playing.
Not us playing. Yeah, they missed us off the bill, which was weird. But
I think literally seeing my favorite song on that is definitely "Love It If We Made It," as I said before. I think I remember the intro to that playing at Reading, and everyone was. It was just that moment of like people were like pushing out to make like a pit, and it was just like, here we go, then here we go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Get ready.
We tried to be really sensible all day, just for an insight. We tried to be really sensible, not get into that many mosh pits, because we were like, it's fun, but we don't want to, like, realistically, like, we don't want to die.
We used to
'cause we're
just
that cool.
we used them to actually top tip for people. We actually used them for when the mosh pit formed. We went pretended we got caught in the middle and just ran far forward, and we just got really far forward in the crowd by every mosh pit, just going far to the other side. Obviously, if you do it a bit late, you might die. But
do you know what? We actually we came up with a bit of a top tip if you're at a gig. Although we maybe shouldn't say this because it is a little bit dodgy. But if you want to get further forwards, what you need to do, you need to walk down the side all the way to the front and then start walking backwards, because people never mind, do they? If someone's going, I need to go back to my friends, I've lost them.
We discovered that at the 1975, didn't we? Actually,
Yeah.
we discovered that
we did.
And then
at the O2.
And I got pissed and got lost still.
Another fun fact for all the listeners. Just to give it some context, Nick once had to leave at Glastonbury, and I had to leave at Reading, and we made it back to our respected groups absolutely fine. Matt went for a wee at the O2, which, relatively speaking, compared to Reading and Glastonbury, not that big. Got
also
completely lost.
Incredibly well laid out.
Yeah. Like you can see where you're going, and you know what to pinpoint.
I did the filter back method, but I just ended up right at the back again. I did a circle.
I was back in the toilets all of a sudden.
Yeah, I was like, fucking hell. So yeah, that's it. Brief inquiry. What a banger.
What a banger, man. What a banger.
So moving on to the very current topic with all of TikTok and everything, your meme that you would take. So imagine if you had it like imprinted, I don't know, like you only had like one video or a photo that you could take, and you couldn't have access to anything else.
When we say meme, is it?
It can be a video, yeah.
Video,
right? It can be like a video.
It's an expansive meme.
Oh,
sure.
I've just thought of one that I'm not going to pick because I haven't decided, but I think Mark will pick. But that's
no context for the listener.
Yeah, well, now's a good time to say tune in next week for the next. I think
find out if Matt's right.
I actually think this might be a rogue one. I went through loads. I was thinking ones that really still make me laugh. And I actually think it is what I think was titled The Weldstone Warrior, which is, you got no fans, you got no ground.
Classic.
I got no fans.
I forgot. Yeah, you want some? I'll give you. I watched it, and it's just, I think I'd probably miss like England if I was on like a desert island. It's just the most British thing ever. Like just some lad having an argument at like a Sunday league game. It's not even like a massive thing. It's just literally like, Rrr.
It's one of those that, I forgot about it. And then I saw they did an interview with him, and I can't remember someone else, with like Lad Bible or something. And it was talking about the impact of kind of how he became so well known and would get stopped in the street.
That is ridiculous.
The guy literally went nuts at a football game, and all of a sudden he's like a B-list celebrity.
Didn't he have a song?
I don't know.
Like,
I thought that
sure.
maybe.
But I heard he got signed for Stoke.
Wealdstone. Oh, it's the Wealdstone Raider.
Oh, sorry.
Warrior. You like an idiot.
God, I don't know my viral videos.
People are going to turn off now.
You got no fans. You got no ground. You what? You want some? You want some? Eh? You want some?
So, moving on to your third and final album.
No one's got a correct guess yet, have they? This is. I might get in trouble for this. This is a contentious one, right? Okay. Am I allowed a live album?
I knew it.
Yes.
Do you know what live album he's going for, Mark?
Yeah.
I know it as well now.
Stop making sense.
Stop making sense. It is.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Very worth it.
I think the
Very
best
worth
live
it.
album ever. And also, like, I think it's some of the versions, like the version of Psycho Killer on that is absolutely class.
Unbelievable.
With just like I said, you're gonna come to
Very
he's like, I've got a tape I want to play for you, and it literally is like him just dancing around with the tape. So I think I'd have that. And also, my thought was, I miss gigs so much right now, and if I'm on this desert island, I think I'm gonna really miss it. And you can literally hear at the start of some of the track, you can hear the whole crowd when they hear the intro being like, whoa. And I just think, I
I love that. I genuinely, like, if I could have a sound on loop, I think it would be that kind of realization from a crowd being like, oh, here we go. Like, here's the song.
The beginning, when the synth comes in at the beginning of Naive Melody is just, it's so good. And it's so like, it feels like quite undone. The whole set is so like, you can literally, well, if you see the video, and I know you didn't get the video of this, but they are literally just having the best time ever. And David Byrne is just going nuts. And I just think I'd.
In terms of a live set as well, I mean, I know, like, especially kind of these days, bands tend to go for like a massive banger straight away, like a big number, like energetic. In terms of that, like, it's like Psycho Killer Into Heaven or something.
Yeah, Psycho Into Heaven. Because they literally
they kind of quite
man.
They literally
back,
they build it up. They literally build it up in terms of like, it's just him for Psycho Killer, and then I think in Heaven, the bass player comes on, and like they build on little by little, and there's one bit when she's so
she's
cool.
amazing. That little wobble she does.
Yeah.
The little wiggle.
Wobble. Me and Mark are doing a wobble. Yeah. It's like she does a little two-step on every other beat, and it's just yeah. And I just think, I don't know. I actually think that Once in a Lifetime is maybe what I think is like one of the best songs ever. I think.
You were just about to say the best song ever. You brought that up to say the best, and then you pussied out of it.
So yeah, that's it. That's my three. That's why actually, Nick, you're a bit unlucky there because I probably would. I would either pick Remain Alive or probably another live album. I really wanted a live album.
Yeah, I went for that because I thought I was thinking Once in a Lifetime, and I was also thinking just like that album start with Born Under Punches is just so groovy.
It's like you walk into the jungle. She's like, what?
Yeah, I remember the first time I ever listened to that was you put me onto that, and then I remember literally that first like 5 seconds. I was like, "What is going on?"
Matt puts everyone onto Talking Heads. That's his thing.
That's a selling point.
Yeah,
that's his selling point.
This little niche band I found.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah.
Fast. So to conclude the podcast, what musician would you take with you if you were stranded at sea?
So this is one of those ones where I think you losers are going to get it wrong and pick someone really like famous from ages ago who you've got nothing like in common with, right? Because life was different back in the 50s, 60s. So I think you want someone who is around your age, because then they aren't going to die way before you, hopefully. I mean, not that I think I'm getting past maybe 10 years on a desert island, or maybe 6 months.
Heart failure attacks everyone, man. Heart failure attacks everyone.
This was the redo of the section.
That's funny, man.
I've actually picked Phoebe Bridgers, and my reasoning why is her last album was absolutely incredible. Her first album was good, and I think that basically my idea
only
is
good.
Yeah.
Cutting edge criticism there.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to want to go with you, man.
Yeah, I hope she doesn't listen if I've got to deal with that for the rest of my life on a desert island. So it was only
good, was it?
Only good, was it? Did you listen to Scott Street? Some people said it was amazing. I think she's like, I've said how much I love Joni Mitchell. I think she's my best bet at being like a current artist who might be the next Joni Mitchell. So I'm like, if I get Blue Take 2 in a couple of years after, then class. Do you know what I mean? I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that makes sense.
definitely because
That makes sense.
and obviously I can't take one of you guys. Otherwise, I'd take all three of you. Obviously, not just one of you. Yeah.
Stipulation.
I know it's not true.
So if you had to, because you can only take one musician, if you had to take a third of each of member of Out at Sea, what third would you take?
Oh,
Can we define what part of what counts as a third? So are we going like foot to middle of thigh to mid torso up?
Yeah, let's do that.
So
Sure.
we're doing like head, torso, legs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes more sense than what I said.
Head, torso, legs.
The alternate version to knees and toes.
This section of the podcast is called Head, Torso, Legs.
Head, torso, legs.
Right, I would take. I quite often I wished I had curly hair, so I would take Nick's head. I think also because I know that from you the running chat, you have a bit of pain sometimes in your knees and your ankles, so maybe I wouldn't take that.
Oh wow, survival of the fittest.
I would take. I don't quite know where allergens come from, but I still want to be able to eat peanuts, and there might be nuts on the island. So I'm going to take Ben's body for the digestion, so that I don't get the nuts. Right.
I was going to say, realistically, no one's taken any of my organs, are they?
No, yeah. I'm going for the bit that is literally bone and muscles. So I'll take Mark's legs. That's it. Mark's got good. You've got good calves as well. I'll give you that. So I'll take them.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, he's got good legs, man. He's got good legs.
I think that actually isn't just like a subjective answer. I think I have objectively cracked that code. I think that is the best.
Yeah, we can't do that again because that's the best one.
That's it.
I've got good organs as well.
So, to sum it up then, so your 3 albums, what were they?
They were Blue by Joni Mitchell, A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships, full title, by the 1975, and then Stop Making Sense, the live album by Talking Heads.
And then your book and your meme
was The Great Gatsby and The Wildstone Raider. Is that what we said? Wildstone Raider?
Yeah.
Mm.
You got no fans. And then your musician was
Russo.
Phoebe Bridgers. Phoebe Bridgers. You got no fans.
There we go.
That's it.
Any day of the week. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys, if you've made it this far in. We will be back next week with Mark.
Ooh.
And we'll find out his Stranded at Sea picks. So, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. You've been amazing. We've been Out at Sea. Thanks a lot.
We've been average.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thanks again for tuning in to the first of our Out at CDs podcasts, and check back each week for the next episode. But for now, please head over to Spotify or Apple Music, where you can find all our music, give it a listen, and please give us a follow. We'll really appreciate it. And we'll put all the links to our social media accounts in the bio below. But most of all, stay safe and look after each other. Much love, the Out at Sea boys.
Chains are just for me, you're just a take it